All right. Live graphic up. Audio down. Record still going. Check. All right. You want to bring us in this hour? Whew. That was crazy, wasn't it? That first hour. Whew. Yep. I have 11:04, 43, 44, 45. Check 1 2. Check 1 2. All right. Check 1 2. All good. All good there, Patrick? All right. Looking good on this end, too. 99.99. Okay, the heck with the T's. We're going to come in with you. Logo started. Clear that so we don't take the load off the CPU.
This is Cruise Control. Your on-air automotive magazine with co-hosts Fred Staub and Les Jackson. Everything you need to know about new and used cars. Industry news. We'll fix or repair your car on the air. Fasten your seatbelts and let us take the wheel. Now, your ride is about to begin. Because you're on Cruise Control. Cruise Control. Cruise Control.
Hey, everybody. Welcome, everybody, to Cruise Control. This is your on-air automotive magazine. By all means, fasten that seatbelt. Get comfortable because we have an hour of a lot of stuff in the automotive industry. Everything is happening. Everything is changing. Every week, there's something new going on. And Fred, we're going to start mentioning a few right now.
Yeah, we are, Les, and we've got lots to go on this hour. We're going to start with pricing out Nissan Z, and frankly, it's a bit of a deal. I was a little surprised to see these prices. A great-looking car, and certainly one we look forward to driving. How about you?
Yep, and boy, is it capable. Also, Genesis shares info and tech on its all-new GV60 EV crossover. Of course, it's a crossover. I didn't need to mention that, did I?
No.
But it's high-tech, great cars, Genesis.
Yeah, they certainly do build great cars. We're going to talk about that, and Honda's also going to preview its brand new EV CUV that it's building along with GM. They're teaming up with them to get into the EV business.
Absolutely, and we're going to talk tech this hour. The subject, clearing the air. Volvo wants you to breathe better, and I like that. I like breathing, and Volvo has a way to do that.
Yeah, we're going to tell you about that. Plus, I'm going to have an at-the-wheel review of the Kia. This is a Kia hybrid, Niro hybrid, which is really, really good. We're going to tell you about that. Great vehicle. If you want to get close to 50 miles to the gallon, this is the one for you. I'll tell you all about it. Have a full at-the-wheel review ready to go for you, so you won't want to miss that. Good stuff. All coming up here on Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine. Don't forget, check us out at cruisecontrolradio.com. There's links to all our social media, to a YouTube page, and more. It's all there at cruisecontrolradio.com. Les, you excited about the new Z? I mean, it is a
Well,
gorgeous car. It took a while to bring it out, but it sure has the silhouette of the old one, doesn't it?
It really does hark back. The last one of that type I was in was the GTR, which was a rocket.
Yeah, well, we'll talk about this
cool.
and the pricing and more when we come back on Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine. I'm Fred Staub, he's Les Jackson. We'll be right back. Patrick, all of a sudden what you're sending me is like super hot. Yeah, like I was fighting it to get it down, getting it back down. And it wasn't hot last hour. I brought a little bit down on our ears, so just I don't know, weird. Unless your audio just like dipped, like you were losing sound pressure. Yeah, like you sound like you're underwater now. Yeah. Can you get your mic closer? Yeah, it should be almost touching. There you go. That sounds good. All right, guys. All right. I don't think it's going out over the air when we're in breaks. No. Yeah. Okay, I'll bring us in with the all-new 2023 Nissan Z. All sorts of fun last week. The recording was corrupted, and I had to do all kinds of things to get it so we could post it on the website. Fun stuff. Check 1 2 1 2 1 2 1 2. One, two, 1 2. Brings them.
Cruise Control.
And welcome back to Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine. It's Fred Staub and Les Jackson, and let's get into our first. Let's get into our first.
Well, I just want to identify. I don't want people mistaking me for you, because
you wouldn't want that to happen.
Well, you wouldn't want that to happen.
Well, let's get into our first story. I also liked in the open. You said you like to breathe, and that's good actually. We got some important information on the all-new Nissan Z. This is another one of the vehicles we talked about. Their Frontier pickup. The Z was another vehicle that had been around in Nissan's lineup forever and needed an update, and it got one. We have the 2023 Nissan Z. This week we learned that it is known as the attainable dream car. It's going to start the Z Coupe Sport 6-speed manual or 9-speed automatic starts at $39,990. The Z Coupe Performance 6-speed manual or 9-speed automatic goes for $49,990. And the Z Coupe Proto Spec with either a 6-speed manual or 9-speed automatic, that will roll out for $52,990. Destination handling is $1,025. And on the Proto, you think you're going to get it for $52,990. The Proto, only 240 units will be built.
Well, you can add another 10 to 20,000 there.
Exactly. But do we know much about what the base model has? Because that's not bad for $39,990.
Well, it isn't bad, and the fact is, it's if you really look back 52 years to the original Z, that was about $3,500. So this is a little more than 10 times that, which is about what regular prices have climbed to. So it's still a bargain in that regard. Plus, the Z itself, it's going to be equipped with, with all of the safety goodies. It's not going to be a plush interior. It's not supposed to be an elegant luxury car. But typically the Zs have always been extremely well spec'd out. And I believe that the Proto spec is kind of a GTR in sheep's clothing.
But here's the thing. All grades get the same engine. All grades get a 400 horsepower, 3-liter V6 twin-turbo engine. All of them get a choice of a 6-speed manual or 9-speed. So I have to look. We have to dig into this a bit and see what the difference in price is. Probably it's wheels, it's trim, it's all that. But
well, the 400 horsepower is. I mean, these aren't big cars.
No, it's the same drivetrain on every trim, so it's not a drivetrain upgrade.
I'm going to guess the Proto spec is lightened.
Maybe.
I don't know, but for the base $39,900, you've got 400 horsepower and the entire legacy of the Zs. Boy.
Yeah, it's pretty good, isn't it?
I mean that's near Corvette performance.
Yeah, near Corvette performance. If you still like rear drive, front engine rear drive, you've got that with the long hood, the short deck. And it's also going to have the driver-centric cockpit with traditional 3 analog pod gauges. And it's going to include modern amenities like a 12.3-inch customizable racing-inspired TFT meter and available 9-inch touchscreen display. So, I do like the two-tone. I think the two-tone looks great in that with the black roof, separated by the kind of looks like a brushed aluminum trim.
Yeah, this is about the best job of shaping a contemporary car so close to the original that I've ever seen. It's all of the proportions are exactly right.
And you know what? There's elements of every generation in the car. It's pretty good. I think they've done a pretty good job. I can't wait to drive it. I think it's going to be a fun vehicle. And I got to look at what the Sport is because I bet it's pretty well equipped. I bet it's very well equipped. And
if we talk to Nissan and get them to order only the manual transmissions into the press fleets, you and I will be the only ones who drive them.
That's true. That's true. I have a BRZ from Subaru coming up, and I'm probably one of the only ones that can still drive
Well,
it.
my Bronco that I tested was a 7-speed manual.
Really?
And they told me nobody wants it because they don't know how to drive it.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll tell you about some other vehicles we've driven and some that you might be able to drive in the future. So stay tuned to Cruise Control. I'm Fred Staub. He is Les Jackson. We will be right back with plenty more news about cars and stuff. Stay tuned. Wow. Granny gear. I'm sorry you had that rough week. That sounds terrible. Your brother's okay, though? He had chest pain? Mm-hmm. Oh, he has edema. Oh, boy. Wow. Wow. Scary, though. Oh, God. Hmm. I bet. Who's coming in? Mm-hmm.
Cruise Control.
Hey, welcome back to Cruise Control. I'm Les. He's Fred. And I think mutually, our favorite car brand, vehicle brand, Genesis, is announcing their first fully electric Genesis GV60.
Yep.
It's amazing. I'm really looking forward to driving this.
Yeah, absolutely. It's only going to be available in certain states, California, New York, and there are two more. I have to. New Jersey and Connecticut. California, Connecticut, New Jersey, and New York.
Well, you're in New York.
Yeah, so maybe they'll put one in the
Would
fleet.
you like to drive down to D.C. in it?
Yeah, that would be fun. The range probably is about 300 miles, I would say.
Well, yeah, that seems to be the going level.
It's got some good horsepower. There's a front electric motor version with 429 with a boost mode of up to 483. That's good. I would make use of the Ergo Motion massaging driver's seat. This is a 2023 Genesis GV60, electric only. It's got some cool technology in it, too. You can unlock it with your face. So you can, just like your phone, that you can look at your phone and it will unlock. This GV60 will do the same thing. And it's another theory I have that our cars are becoming our cell phones, or our cell phones are becoming cars.
Well, you're right.
Whichever way.
Oddly enough, My face has caused many doors to lock.
Okay.
But that's a completely different story.
That's a completely different story. But it's got a lot going on there. Biometric information to unlock your vehicle. Fingerprint authentication system allows driver to start and drive the car without the need to carry a key. Although I don't think I could ever do that.
I wouldn't. No. No.
I'm too ingrained are my keys there.
Yep.
It has a head-up display. Face Connect can link individual driver profiles to the head-up display. So you look at the head-up display and your driver's seat, steering wheel, side mirrors, and multimedia settings adjust automatically, which I think is pretty cool.
And the crystal sphere.
Yes, tell us about the crystal sphere.
Well, it's a
tell us our future?
It's a control knob, as it were. That's a crystal sphere down on the console, and it lets you operate the vehicle. It's like iDrive and some of these other systems.
It's a cool knob.
It's a cool, but it looks so cool.
Yeah.
And when you turn off the Genesis, the sphere provides ambient lighting, and as you rotate it, the shift by wire dial appears. I love this. Just
the sphere
normally I don't like gadgets just for the sake of gadgetry, but I really like
this. It's a fun thing. Well, let's look at some of the pricing on this vehicle, and I can't wait to drive it because I think it's a pretty neat looking vehicle, and it will be great because Genesis does a great job with the interiors. And if you watched last week's show, if you didn't, go up to our YouTube page. This is up there because we had Bob Gritzinger on Bob Gritzinger from Ward's Auto talking about great interiors. And this was one of them that he said was a great interior because of the crystal sphere. I'm sure that weighed into his decision. But let's look at pricing. GV60 MSRP $58,890. That's excluding the $1,090 freight. But don't get twisted about that. That's what freight costs these days. Front and rear electric motors, 314 horsepower, 77.4 kilowatt hour battery, 240 miles of range. You get a heat pump and battery heater, paddle shifted regen system, electronic parking brake, ventilated front and rear disc brakes, and a whole lot more. Navigation.
2 typewritten pages of a whole lot more.
And then if you say, well, I need even more, you can get the GV60 with front and rear electric motors, 429 horse, boosted to 483, range of 235, electronic limited slip diff, monoblock front brakes, Napa leather seating, 21-inch alloy wheels. So 2 levels. One is $58,890, and the other one is $67,890. And you've got to tack on the $1,090 freight for that.
Yep.
Which is just the way it is. But good stuff from the folks over at Genesis. When you say, now I would like a little more range. When you say.
Well, I'd opt for the range before I'd opt for the power.
Although the power gives you the range. I'm sorry. No, it's 248. 248 in the single motor, 235 in the dual motor. But you don't get the boost mode.
Yeah. Well, of course you want to try out boost. It's like the Mach-E unbridled mode.
Yeah. I think that's a lot for some people to handle. They won't be ready for like an instant on. You know, it's not like the engine's got to rev up.
I find people are kind of scared.
Yeah, because it's instant power. It's an instant hit of power. It's sort of like a drag car, you know. It just boom, and it's right there. So But there you have it. That is the GV60, and we'll be having more information on that as it comes along, Les Jackson. But let's talk about what Honda is doing. This is some of their new design studio in California, and they are doing previewing the Prologue, which is an electric SUV. Are you surprised at that? It's coming in 2024. And it is going to begin sales in 2024 of the Honda Prologue, co-developed with GM. And this is something that I think we're going to see more of as manufacturers sort of try to split the cost of designing these things. It was designed in the U.S. and probably will use the GM drivetrain, I would imagine, their Ultium battery. But it's something to be on the lookout for in 2024. And then in 2026, they'll begin production and sales of Honda models based on this new Honda E architecture. And then in 2027, they'll begin sales of affordable electric vehicles. That's a big thing, Les Jackson. You and I talk about all these vehicles now, and they're all around that $60,000, $70,000, $80,000 range, and we just shoot it out there like, yeah, that's what it is. We don't mean to do that, but really there need to be some $30,000 models, at least $30,000, right?
Yeah, I mean, when you've got things like the Maverick, which is a hybrid, but it's still electric, it's 21,000.
Yeah.
So you need, if people are really going to embrace this, you need stuff you and I can afford.
Right, and they don't want to, as you said, maybe leasing is a way around this, but you're still going to have a gigantic lease payment if you are buying something or leasing something that's worth $65,000. So interesting problem. But VW said they would start building some affordable electrics. The Bolt just has a new version out, believe it or not. So Chevy Bolt is still in the mix.
Good for them.
I think they will keep some affordable cars. They got to. They just can't. They just can't give up on the $30,000 market. Not that that's inexpensive either. So. Hey, when we come back, we got plenty more to go. We're going to talk tech about Volvo clearing the air and a whole lot more. So stay tuned. Cruise Control. All right. You can do the 12 cars. I get the best MPG too. Then, yep. I'd like to put a whole house filter that could filter that clean. Oh, the cars were covered in yellow gunk. My computer said polluted bad air. Which is interesting. That was great. Did he say that? Okay. I'll call you.
Control.
Welcome back to Cruise Control. I'm Les. He's Fred. We have a interesting talking tech session here. Volvo has developed an air purification system. An advanced air cleaner. That's what they call it. And this is cool. Now, Fred, I know you suffer from allergies.
Yeah.
Mine are quite mild, but annoying these days, especially in the spring, a lot of pollen. And it filters the cabin air beyond just particulates. It does that to an incredible level, but it also removes
95% of all.
95% of the viruses in the air. I mean, this is like a doctor's office almost, and it's that's really important for a lot of people.
Well, look at what's been going on up here where we are. I had a black car and it turned yellow with pollen. So this is what they use. They use a synthetic fiber-based filter and ionization, and it traps up to 95% of the PM 2.5 particles. They're very small particles. And typically, a lot of these filters will turn on automatically. They sense that this is in the air and they turn on. And it will be able, I mean, imagine this. People will leave their homes and drive in their cars to get clean air, filtered air.
Well, now in the old days, Puritron used to make house filters.
Yeah.
They were expensive, but they really did work.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm sure we can buy that stuff today.
I think
central furnace systems.
Yeah, you can. I think you can, and there's all kinds of systems for that, but certainly might be worth looking into if you have sinus problems. And I know I tend to get sinus problems, especially with this pollen. It's just crazy.
Birch trees, ragweed,
all that.
Pine trees.
Yeah. So that's a little bit of tech. But here's a timely story. That's a timely story about pollen. But here's another timely story. This comes to us. Andrew Gans from Auto Trader put this list together. And it's 12 new cars that get the best MPG. And I'm going to talk about the top 10 here. And some of them, you don't even think about.
No.
Honda Civic, 36 miles to the gallon. Now that is not a hybrid or anything, but it's
just a Honda.
That's just a Honda, right? Hyundai Elantra, 37 miles to the gallon. Not bad. It's a nice little car, right?
Not bad at all. Mitsubishi Mirage, 39.
Yeah, real inexpensive car. Starts at $16,000, right?
Yeah, geez.
Hyundai Sonata Hybrid Blue. We talked about them potentially getting rid of the Sonata, and this is depressing because look at the mileage on that car. That's crazy, isn't it?
Yeah, 52. Yeah.
The blue version. What do you got at number 6?
Well, the one again that people don't think about is a Toyota Camry hybrid.
Yeah, that's a nice vehicle. I drove that
Making
last
them for years. Yeah, and that's 52, same as the Sonata, which is just, man, if you're buying a new car, you really should think about a hybrid.
Yeah, it really does make a difference. Toyota Corolla hybrid, fun little car, nice interior, and it's really inexpensive. 53 city, 52 highway. I'd be happy with that. And then Honda Insight. This is going to go away, but it doesn't matter because it's still a great car. It's going to be replaced by the Civic hybrid, but the Honda Insight gets 52 miles to the gallon, 55 miles in the city, 49 on the highway.
That's just terrific. And the Hyundai Elantra hybrid blue, is 54. Think about it. I think right now anybody listening who's getting 20 miles to the gallon on $5 a gallon gas is thinking 54 miles per gallon.
Yeah, you barely have to fill the tank.
And it's only a $25,000 car.
What a commuter car that would be.
Wow.
Wouldn't that be great? And it's a nice car. These are not, cars that you sit in and you go, oh, wow, I got a real cheap car, but I get good mileage. You have all the stuff you need. Android Auto, Apple CarPlay, a good sound system, comfortable seats. It makes sense to me.
Yeah.
Number 2, Toyota Prius Eco. I am not crazy about the Prius styling, but
I just don't care much for the styling of Toyota Priuses, and I don't particularly care for the driving dynamics. They're just not all that pleasant to drive. Not bad. It's just
Here is the one I would order. The Hyundai Ioniq Blue, 59 miles to the gallon. It starts a little under $25,000. Isn't that crazy?
You could pay $25,000 for a really nice Honda motorcycle that gets 59 miles to the gallon, or you could have the entire car.
Yeah, with all the safety features.
Yeah.
That is amazing. That is really, and Ioniq, would you consider that a crossover?
Yeah,
It's a little crossover.
it's a little crossover,
Yeah.
but you could call it a almost station wagon.
I tell you, something like that, if you're commuting to work every day, I would buy something like that because
Absolutely.
it's got all the safety features. It's got low rolling resistance tires, so that they might be
A little choppy.
yeah, but you know what? For the money, that's crazy. It's like, wow, you could literally go most places on less than a gallon.
If the tank holds 10 gallons,
Right?
I could drive on one tank from here, Washington, D.C., pick you up in New York, and we could go to Boston and never have to fill the tank.
That is crazy. That is crazy. Well, as I say, it's an article by Andrew Gans of Auto Trader, 12 vehicles. Oh, let's just tell the other two. Kia Rio, 36 miles to the gallon. He's at number 11. And number 12 was Hyundai Accent. Hyundai Accent you can get super inexpensive.
Yeah, that's
36
in
miles
the
to the
teens.
gallon, yeah. But I would be tempted to go for the number 1 Hyundai Ioniq Blue. That is just crazy. But will people do that to save the money? I mean, it's not like you're giving up much.
Well,
You're not going to get a lot of power, but so what?
Yeah, but the big problem is people are buying SUVs and pickup trucks because they don't feel safe in smaller vehicles.
Yeah. Let's talk about something completely different. Mustang is a rare Mustang that was highlighted this week. There's only 11 of these convertibles available. And what's unique about them? They were the 11 Mustangs that were on the Magic Skyway from 1964 to 1965. It is this was auctioned off at the Mecum Indy auction, or will be auctioned off today, actually, Saturday, the 21st of May. And what it was one of those cars. They were modified by the Karen and Company. They welded on tabs and a couple other things so these could be run on the tracks. And then once they were done, carrying estimated 4,000 passengers over 5,000 miles, although the car engine wasn't running. They took it back, they reupholstered it, repainted it, but they left the bracketry for the tracks on the bottom. And this one has a 200 horsepower 6-cylinder engine, a cruise-o-matic transmission, 320 rear, power top, and it's white, I think, with a red interior, which I believe a lot of those cars were. I remember riding in one of those, but not a Mustang. I don't think it was a Mustang.
Wimbledon white.
But, yeah, that's going up for auction. So what a little piece of history that is, huh?
That's terrific.
Yeah, cool stuff. All right, when we come back, we're going to have an at-the-wheel review talking about fuel-sipping hybrids. I got the Kia Niro hybrid. I got, wow, almost 50 miles to the gallon out of this thing. So we'll give you a full at-the-wheel when we come back.
Well, coughing.
Okay. Come on. Come on. That's not what I wanted. I don't know where that is. Oh, there it is. That's the new Niro that they've redone. Mike Torpy was the designer of that. It was a super nice guy. Mike Torpy was the designer of this and the Soul. Nice guy. I remember interviewing him. He died suddenly. Sad. I liked him. He was an unassuming guy. I enjoyed, he liked riding mountain bikes and stuff like that. It's just a nice guy. Unassuming. Really nice. Young guy, too. And, one of those deals where a healthy guy riding bikes. Don't know. I don't think it was ever revealed. His girlfriend didn't reveal it. But, good guy. I was at an event. I was just sitting talking to him. It was like two guys talking cars. It wasn't like, dressed head to toe in black with fancy eyewear. He's just a regular guy. Video's looking good. All right. Of course, as soon as that blocks that out, slide that down. This thing was great, Les. Phase 2. Okay, that's interesting. Shouldn't be. Thanks, Glenn. Oh boy. All right, we'll figure that out. Mm-hmm.
Cruise Control.
And welcome back to Cruise Control, your on-air automotive magazine. I'm Fred Staub. He is Les Jackson. We are glad you're along for the ride. I have got an at-the-wheel review, but right before the break, we were talking about that list of 12 vehicles that get great fuel economy. Well, this is another one. And a little bit more expensive, but not bad at all. This is the 2022 Niro EX Premium. So this is a well-loaded hybrid edition of the Niro. Now, the Niro you can get in all-electric, in plug-in hybrid, in hybrid only.
Yeah, three.
And also just as a regular gas-powered car, right? So we wanted to look into this, and I was actually excited about this review because this is a real smart vehicle. This is a crossover vehicle, and it is in a color that I like for small vehicles. And I think the reason I like it, I like all small vehicles to be red for some reason, because I believe that is that is the first small vehicle I bought was in bright red. I think it's a good safety thing. But hybrid drivetrain, 4-cylinder engine, 1.6-liter 4-cylinder with hybrid electric motor, 1.56 kilowatt-hour lithium-hour polymer battery, 6-speed dual-clutch automatic transmission. And this thing was great. The transitions between electric and gas were very smooth. It makes a lot of noise on the road. There's the sound, when it's in electric mode, and then there's also kind of an annoying backup alarm. But I guess it's all about safety.
It's about safety. By the way,
of it. Well, go ahead.
Well, I just the color is like a rose red, or almost a lipstick red.
They call it runaway red.
Yeah, I like
runway red, not runaway. Runway. Yeah. Clean design. Mike Torpy, who designed the Kia Soul, designed this very clean design. Almost reminds me a little bit of the Pacifica, the early Pacifica from Chrysler. Straight belt line. Now, this is the 2022 model. I'm going to show you the 2023 model in a little bit. They've radically redesigned it. But this was a great vehicle as far as being a small crossover. It is front-wheel drive only. It is not available with all-wheel drive, and I don't think they intend to make it available with all-wheel drive, but we would see if that is something different. If that comes out. I like the jet-like lights on the front down there in the front corners. On the inside, as typical with Kia, very well equipped. You had heated steering wheel, heated seats, leather seating surfaces. This is the premium edition. One thing on the inside, the door cards were a little plain, a lot of black hard plastic, which made the interior a little dark, and it didn't feel up to the more luxurious standards you would find for a premium vehicle. But it did have a lot of the cool stuff, like navigation. It had the heated steering wheel, the heated and cooled seats. Rear seats fold down almost flat to the load floor out back, which is really convenient. And then you give up some things in a hybrid, like there's no power gate. You have to open it manually. Not a big thing to give up. There's storage underneath the storage area, which is kind of like a foam mat. There's no spare tire, just an inflator, but it looks like you could add the spare tire if you wanted to. Nicely packaged on the inside, the hybrid drivetrain, very clean. Of course, you see the electric motor over there and the orange wires for the high voltage. But I think they did a great job of combining all of this. And I got almost 50 miles to the gallon with this thing around town, Les, and it is rated city 51, 16-inch wheels, by the way, nice-looking alloy wheels. And it's rated at 46 on the highway. I was doing like incredible numbers around town, though, 47, 48 or more. So it really clean-looking car. as I say, like that those jet-looking lights on the bottom that are the daylight running lights, daytime running lights. Just a clean designed car, a little bit play it safe styling, but that's not bad. Now it's going to change. I'm going to show you the look of the new one. Ours, by the way, I should tell you price first. Ours had a base price of $31,990, which basically had everything in there. Heated and ventilated front seats, heated steering wheel, cargo cover.
Typical of Hyundai.
Yeah, parking distance warning. The additional equipment was $295 for that runway red paint, and carpeted floor mats $155. Full safety systems, which is great to see on this. Android Auto and Apple CarPlay, plus the touchscreen navigation on the 10.2-inch screen. So all in, before shipping, $32,440, and then inland freight handling is $1,175. Total of $33,615. And for final assembly point is Korea, country of origin for engines Korea, and transmission is Korean as well. Overall score 4 stars on safety as well. So
how is the rear seat room?
Rear seat room is good. There's good leg room. The one thing I noticed, you cannot recline the seats, so they're either up or down. So that could be a concern for some. But here's what they've done to it for the 2023 model year. They have certainly modernized the look of it. They've done away with the quarter window in the back, and they've even modernized the interior, made it a lot more slick. On the inside, there's a controller on the dash. The navigation screen is integrated in. I don't think we have pricing on this new model, but it's always good to keep in mind, if you like the new model better, it's good to know that there is a new model, and if you might be interested in that one, or
quite attractive. I like it.
Yeah. So that's the new interior, and they actually did like a dark panel. I don't know whether that's just for all of them or on the electric, but it almost reminds me, you're going to laugh, of the Audi R8, where they had that dark panel come down the side vertically, and they've updated the front end look of it. It's kind of funny, a bit of the sole carries over. The sole has done that big lower grille. So they've done some pretty seriously updated things to it for the 2023 model year. But, of course, this is the one I tested, which was the 2022 model year. Typically, you would say, well, you could get the 2022 at a cheaper cost. I don't know how many of these things are around. But any way you look at it, it is basically a small front-wheel drive station wagon that gets almost 50 miles to the gallon. So that's your elevator review of that, because it is quite the vehicle as far as economy and use. I mean, you've got some good storage area too, as well. Would you wait for the new one, or would you go?
I'd wait for the new one.
You would wait.
I'd wait for I like the new one's interior, and especially the dash.
Yeah.
Why not? It's
The one I tested, the door cards there's a lot of black hard plastic. And even though this was the premium model, that did not seem all that premium. I think they've addressed that in the new one. I haven't been in the new one, but it seems like they've gone with more two-tone, more soft materials. And I think that's great. And keep in mind, you can get this in standard internal combustion, plug-in hybrid, or electric. So all cool stuff. Hey, we appreciate you listening to Cruise Control Radio. Time for me to say I'm Fred Staub.
I'm Les Jackson.
We're going to see you down the road.
Bye.